Hi guys, welcome to Madlookz VFX podcast. And today we have Manav Shukla with us. So, let's jump into the podcast. Hi Manav, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So, I know you personally, but for my listeners, can you give a casual intro about yourself?
So, my name is Manav
Mm-hmm.
Shukla, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically from Gujarat, Ahmedabad.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in 10th, I was more fond of cartoons and all those things. So, I wanted to go more deep into it. So, there was a private institute where they used to teach all the students,
Mm-hmm.
undergrads, how to do basic sketching, 2 point perspective, 3 point, anatomy. And after
Mm-hmm.
learning those things, they used to teach us a bit of Photoshop, Illustrator. And that brought a good interest. Then I thought, let me go ahead in this field where I learned 3D modeling.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, these all things I learned when I was in 10th and when I was in 11th. Then
Mm.
as the 12th came up, I had a lot of pressure of studies, so I had to stop it over there. So I
Yeah.
completed my 12th, and suddenly there was a news on the newspaper
Mm-hmm.
that now the Gujarat University is going to start a course, BSc in
Mm-hmm.
animation, and
Mm.
which the degree was going to be of university, but the course was designed by a Bangalore company.
Okay.
So when you saw the outline, the subjects were very impressive, which were almost being used inside the industry at that time.
Mm.
So I decided to jump into that one because slowly, I thought that I want to achieve something in this field.
Mm.
So I started over there. Also, I learned sketching, anatomy. Over there, they
Mm-hmm.
used to teach us Flash also,
Oh,
uh, which was a very old fashioned, I know, but
2D
still I've
animation.
seen many people using it. But it was
Mm-hmm.
fine. We learned sand animation. We used to do many projects.
Mm.
Uh, so I learned that over there, and even there was a guest lecture from one person where they taught us 3D conversion in
Mm-hmm.
Nuke. That was the first time I put my hands on Nuke. It was very confusing because Andrew Kramer's
Yeah.
everybody goes to After Effects. They learn from that. I was also the one. So
Mm.
in After Effects, you know that you go on this way, you go this way, you'll find the effect which you want to add. But over here, you have to type the nodes, you have to remember the nodes. That was a
Yeah.
big confusing for me. So I
Yeah.
was hardly able to clear that lecture. But then, because I didn't knew that there were subfields also in VFX, like compositing,
Mm. Mm.
modeling, texturing. I didn't knew anything. But as
Mm-hmm.
soon as I completed my BSc, I thought that I think I need to learn more to do something in this field to achieve something. So I had a friend who luckily came to India at that time, and he
Mm-hmm.
suggested me a college. So
Mm-hmm.
after that, to I decided to go to Canada and
Mm-hmm.
learn
Mm.
more detail.
So that was in which year?
That was in 2017 and 17 mid.
Okay.
I
Nice.
I I graduated.
Got it. Got it. So I guess you completed your education from Canada after that, right?
Yes, I completed my BSc, my graduation from India. Then I
Mm-hmm.
went to Canada.
Okay. So can you share more about your learning and experiences from Seneca College?
So it was wonderful. I literally enjoyed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the professors who were there, the faculty were there, who was also working in the industry also, and they were teaching us also. As you know, in this
Mm.
field, we have to stay constant upgrades. We have to
Yeah.
constantly upgrade ourselves.
Of
There's
course.
no
Yeah.
like you're a graduate and then you don't have to learn anything.
Mm-hmm.
So they were teaching us compositing, they were teaching us effects like in
Mm-hmm.
Houdini. They used to
Mm-hmm.
teach us texturing and
Mm-hmm.
many more things.
Mm-hmm.
They used to take us for a studio visit also.
Oh.
Yeah. So the main challenge for me was as a newbie from India, when you don't know what's compositing,
Mm-hmm.
what's modeling, you just know basic about modeling, how high a modeling can go, high resolution, high mesh. So it was at that time I was a bit confused because I had to choose a field in which I have to make my demo reel.
Of course.
And yeah, I already had a bad experience of Nuke at that time because oh my god, so many new nodes and all. I
Mm.
was a bit confused, but then slowly, and the best thing was the college was open for 24 hours. So you
Yeah, I
can do
heard.
assignments also, you can do more, you can do more shots by yourself at my level of complexity. You can
Mm.
ask to professors and you can learn from them. So
Mm.
it was a great opportunity for me to put a good hands on Nuke, and
Mm-hmm.
slowly I started learning. So by it was an 8 months of course, but within 2 to 3 months I was ready to say I was ready that I want to go towards compositing. And
Okay.
then I started making demo reels. I had good professors, so I used to ask them a lot of questions, how much ever I had, because the more
Yeah.
you work, the more questions you
You
have,
will come.
the
Yeah, you
more
will face.
problems you face, you can ask them. So from that scene, from that college, I started learning more of a compositing, and I
Mm-hmm.
made my own demo reel.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
And after completing that thing, I went to Humber College. It was
Mm.
that course was more towards 3D thing.
Mm-hmm.
They taught us of many more renderers. They taught us about sculpting. Uh, Even there was a bit of compositing also. We learned
Mm-hmm.
redshift renderers. So I was able. So I already made my reel in Seneca College, but I had a
Mm-hmm.
time where I could use a bit of 3D skills also in it because I already learned it. So I can learn a bit of texturing. I can do a bit of modeling. I can do a good 3D integration scenes,
Mm-hmm.
which is also a good thing because in Nuke also sometimes we do geo projection where you have to
Mm.
unwrap the UVs to do that. So it was
Got
a
it.
very good practice for me to make those things also, which helped
Mm-hmm.
me to boost up my reel more.
Mm.
That was for the Humber College.
Got it. Okay, so I just want to know what was the process to apply Seneca College from India? Because I used to get a lot of questions like that. So if you could guide like certain steps, that will be helpful.
So if you are coming new from India, and if you know more about Nuke and those things, you can make a basic demo reel because obviously it's a college. They won't ask you for high end because they will be there to teach you. But there should be a bit. When I applied to Seneca College, I had most of Andrew Kramer's because it was new. I didn't know anything at that time.
Yeah.
So I did that. I had 2 3 shots of clean one shot sorry 2 shots of cleanup and one
Mm-hmm.
shot of basic 3D integration. Even the model was not textured, but the tracking was good. I did green and all those things. So that
Mm.
helped me to get into Seneca.
Got it.
And
S-
then I learned all the detail stuff.
Mm. Okay. So you joined your first job as a compositor, right? So what all are the challenges you faced in your work when you joined as a fresher in compositing department?
So after completing my while completing my Humber, I was also
Mm-hmm.
doing freelance work also.
That's
I
nice.
used to work with a freelancer where I learned what is going on in the industry right now.
Mm.
Where he taught me to do a bit fast work because you cannot spend 10 hours on one shot. He taught
Mm.
me to increase your speed so you can get the shots done fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned a bit of cleanup. I learned Roto, many
Mm.
things from there. And
Mm-hmm.
because of that experience, I got a job.
Got it.
And after getting the job, after I got the job, uh, I completed my 3 months of probation. Then
Mm-hmm.
suddenly lockdown came up.
Yeah,
So it was a tough for me because
of
obviously
course.
you have a student reel and you are going to an industry where you have to give an excellent output. So yeah. So whenever I used to get a shot, I was like, let me do like this. I used to make my script in a student how the students make it a bit messy, and obviously it happens. So at that time, I used to text my supervisor or my colleagues that can you please guide me out? Can you please help me out? And
Yeah,
they were very nice. They were very lovingly. They always like, sure, I'll teach you. So it's not a bad thing to ask your colleagues or head that
of
can you
course.
please guide me out. They'll surely guide you out
Got it.
because there has been sometimes people get scared to uh, ask. I was
Mm.
also scared at the initial stage, but then once I tried and they were very loving, they were very nice. So I was like,
Yeah.
sure, I would like to learn more. I would like to improve myself.
Mm.
So sometimes after completing my office work, I used to at night. I used to see how to improvise my script, how to match grains, how to match colors, how to do
Mm-hmm.
proper king. So by side, I was learning that thing also because
Mm.
I had eagerness to learn and I wanted to learn the things very fast.
Got it.
Uh, so
But
this was the way I learned.
yeah, but very challenging time, right?
Yeah, it was a big challenge for me when
Got
you have
it.
no one to do and you have to take an initiative to get this shot done within the limited time.
Hmm. Got it. So I'm pretty sure you're using Nuke in your production environment, like many of us.
Shit.
So, which are some of your favorite gizmos inside Nuke?
I have Dispel Madness. I use Vector Edge Extend,
Vector
PXF
extend.
Filler,
Okay. Yeah, PXF
Vector Edge
filler.
Extend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then the good and the basic gizmo is B Box Buddy.
B box, but I'm hearing for the first time. I'll just
Yeah.
search that. B.
It's
What it
for
does? Yeah.
bounding box.
Okay.
It's for bounding box. It's a gizmo. It's
Mm-hmm.
for bounding box because we always, when we have a huge script and we are
Mm-hmm.
working on it, because of the bounding box, then if the bounding was big, it will take a lot of time to render. I know
Yeah.
we have an option in merge node also that we have a bounding box, but
Mm.
this is a separate bounding box which tells you even if it's big or small, because on every merge you go and change it. I'm sure if you have a big script, you will surely miss it.
Got it. Got
So
it.
this node helps you to bring it down, to compact your script, and it can work very fast. Because there has been a time where you use p-word match, you have
Mm.
a mesh in your scene, it becomes
Mm-hmm.
very heavy. When you have a motion blur node,
Mm.
sometimes we have smart vector for paint up stuff or for
Mm.
cleanups and things. At that time, this node can help you out, which can go very smoothly.
I
So
have
these are
to.
the
Yeah.
yeah.
I have to try
So
it out,
these
I
are the
guess.
nodes which yeah, it's a good one.
Got it. I mean, what is the name of that? B box buddy, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I will add. I
yeah,
mean,
it was
I'll
like that.
search and add that in the description of the video as well.
Sure.
So, which are some of the blogs or websites, or I would say YouTube channels also that you regularly follows and get updates?
So first thing what I see is Hugo Desk. I love the way he creates the concepts and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
We can learn how when we have a limited elements and we have
Mm-hmm.
to how he brings up the ideas and how he makes it is lovely. I follow that thing.
Mm-hmm.
We have Steve Wright's videos, tutorials.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I look at them for for keying, for all those things. I learn that thing.
Basic things,
And
yeah.
sometimes, yes, and sometimes I look at the company's demo reel, how they make it, so that
Mm-hmm.
you can see those breakdowns and you can compare your work with them, so that you can come to know at what level you have to improvise yourself.
Yeah.
The way they do the detailed stuff, it is always good to look at the company's reels or
Yeah.
any of the professional people's reels,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can come to know that how it's going to be
Yeah.
more ahead.
I mean, nowadays we can see showreel for every movies, which every company works.
Yes, every company, it's a good opportunity for the people who are learning also, who are trying to improve themselves also, so you can compare your work, you can learn. So it's a good
Mm.
thing to learn in that way.
Got it. Any other blogs or websites?
Uh, I look at ArtStation also, where
Art
you get
station.
concepts. ArtStation I have a home page. So as soon as I open it,
Okay.
I get the ArtStation page where I look at the concepts. I look at the designs, the way
Mm-hmm.
they make their 3D model. The good thing is the way they showcase their work. That's the
Mm.
most important thing. Sometimes we are good in your work, but it's important the way you showcase your work also.
Mm. Okay. So, I mean, is there any relevance of real life photography in your work? If yes, then can you tell me the reason for that?
Uh, Photography is a very important thing, especially when you're doing compositing. We get a challenge where you have to add something or you have to remove something, or and especially when you're removing something, and if you have to you have to compare the things with the real life, that how that material is going to react
Mm-hmm.
when we bring that thing into real life. The way we click the pictures, the way we composite the shot. There are people who are more into cinematography also. So
Mm-hmm.
not only composition, cinematography also. So by doing photography with the real life photography, they can
Mm-hmm.
learn how to set the scene, aperture, ISO. because sometimes when we get those 3D objects in our scene, when it's a full 3D shot, where
Mm-hmm.
we at that time we need to
Mm.
do ZD focus. So
Okay.
at that place, you need to have a knowledge of photography, all those things,
Mm.
so that you can make it behave as it works as if it's a real life.
Mm.
So that's a very important thing. And
Or,
we have and secondly, the we have those lens flare and all those things. The most challenging thing is when you have a full CG shot and you have to
mm.
make it look very realistic. That's a very tough thing.
Yeah, how light behaves in the
At
real
that
environment.
Yeah,
We have to
so at
match
that
that,
time you
right?
have to be a bit, yeah, at that time you have to be a bit of creative also, and you have to connect it with the real world also, so that when a normal person looks at it, he feels as if it's a real scene.
Got it. Got it. So photography is really relevant in the
Very
compositing work.
important.
Yeah. So I mean, nowadays, if we open LinkedIn or any other websites, we could see a lot of updates about Python and all those automations. So, what is your? I mean, specifically, I want to know what is your view about learning Python and automation.
Python is growing a lot right now. There are companies who download any gizmo, or they make their own gizmos also by using Python. Even I'm
Mhm.
also learning right now Python also, because um, Python can make our work way more easier. Uh, we can make our own gizmos, or we can do many things with the help of Python. So even I'm also learning. It is growing very fast.
Mhm.
So hope I'm also learning.
So, how you are learning Python? Is there any
So
source or which you would like to share with us?
So I'm first of all, I started learning basics from YouTube. It's a
Mhm.
very basic course.
YouTube,
Then there's
right?
Plural Site also. Yes,
Yeah.
and Plural Site also. So these are the
Mhm.
websites where you can learn.
Mhm.
It's important to learn basics. You can learn basics from YouTube also. So
Got it.
learn those things, and if that thing brings your interest, then jump to Plural Site.
I mean, nowadays we are lucky that we have a lot of stuff in YouTube itself, and
Yes,
if we learn the basics and all these things, we can buy some paid tutorials or paid courses and can excel in that specific genre, I would say. So that's a
yes. People
good
are
thing.
learning them in that way. Yeah,
Got it.
it's an open source now.
Yeah, as you tell, like photography is really relevant in compositing. Is there any hobbies that you do in your free time?
I during my free time, I do sketching.
Mm-hmm.
I go out, I sit, I look at a thing, and I try to sketch it the way as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're doing even if you're doing photography, you need
Mm-hmm.
to have a vision that how it will be looking in the
Mm-hmm.
computer. So
Mm-hmm.
I learn sketching. Sometimes when it's very helpful when you're doing any paint strokes or cleaning, or you're trying to recreate something. So sketching
Mm-hmm.
will be a very good friend of yours. So I would suggest to learn sketching more. Uh, so that's what I do during my free time, and I
Mm-hmm.
learn Python.
Yeah, is it helpful in some way for your compositing job? I mean, sketching.
Yes,
I'm asking about sketching. Yeah.
sketching. For sketching, you need a free hand. Secondly, you can use for paint strokes,
Mm-hmm.
for clean plates. We can use them for those things also.
Got it.
But
So.
sometimes you have to create a clean plate where you don't have a reference. So sometimes those your creativity comes up, your style comes up of drawing. So at that
Mhm.
time you need those skills.
Mm. I mean, I also have it about like what is the importance of roto and paint in compositing? As a junior compositor, how much skill you need to have in roto and paint?
Um, I've seen that when junior comes up, they think that they'll be doing a big comms. Even I thought that.
Got it.
I thought that thing. I was so excited. Oh my god, I'll be doing a full CG shot. But when I came over here, even I also did roto. I did clean plates. So it's important. If you can do roto properly, means you can use tracks to do a roto track.
Mhm.
There are many ways to do roto in clean plate. They will be important. Not they right now. Everybody as a junior, people feel that it's not important. But when you will be you'll have an experience of 1 year, 1.5 year. When you will be doing a shot, at that time you will come to know what is the value of having a good roto or a good clean plate, because when you're doing a shot, when you're about to reach at the end, you're
Mm-hmm.
submitting the shot, and then you come to, I think there's a jitter in your roto. You're like,
Mm.
really? I spent 8 hours doing this shot. Now I'm getting a roto note. That hurts. That hurts a lot. At that time, the comper has to solve those things, or it might get kicked back to the prep artist. So
Mm.
it's important. It's a base. So it's important to make your base strong
Mm.
before starting your own comp.
Yeah, got it. So I get a lot of questions on demo reel and all this stuff. So can you give us some guidelines or any tips on making a show reel to apply as a compositor role?
Uh, you need to have 2D cleanup,
Mm-hmm.
3D projection cleanup,
Mm-hmm.
3D integration, uh, keying.
Mm-hmm.
These four are the most important things which you need to have in your compositing reel.
Mm-hmm.
So, because as a junior compositor, nobody would ask a junior compositor to do a big CG shot.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do a good cleanup, make an invisible VFX.
Mm-hmm.
So that will bring their attention more, and that will stand out in your demo reel also. So I'll be giving you my demo reel also. When I was a student, when I applied to the companies as a junior, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'll share you my demo reel also.
I mean, my next question is like a general question. So, what are some of the tips that you can give to all those aspiring compositors who are generally coming out of their institutes right now?
Never stop learning. In this field, even if you are 80 years also, there'll be new things coming up. You have to keep yourself upgraded. And hard work is the most important thing. Even when I was in Seneca College, I used to go in the morning and I used to come home at 1 o'clock, 3 hours of sleep. My food, my lunch and dinner, everything was in college. Uh, uh, so this is more important. You need to, and not only compose, it's important that you learn more skills also. It's not that if you are learning compositing then just focus on compositing. No, if you
Mm.
learn two more skills also, it will be beneficial for you in future also. You'll be able to get more opportunities,
Mhm.
on how that will, you can use it in your demo reel also. The
Mhm.
more you spend time, the more good demo reel will be there. You can ask your professor on questions or doubts on how I can improvise the shot. There'll
Mhm.
be always some ideas where you can keep on improvising your shot, and which might stand out also. There are many people whom I know have spent 8 months on one shot, but that one shot was superb. That one
Wow.
shot got him a job. It was impressing. It was very impressing.
Got
So
it.
so you keep on learning, hard work, and just enjoy. It's
Yeah,
important to enjoy this field also.
of
It's
course.
not that you have to keep on working. You can
Yeah.
enjoy in this field also. You can do what you like also. So it's fun.
Yeah. We have to enjoy the work which we do. Otherwise, we will feel stressful every day, right?
For sure.
Got
Before
it.
starting my work, I look at some of the tutorials, I learn, and then I jump to my work, because there has been a time where there are some shorts which I don't know. So I look
Hmm.
on the YouTube, I look at those tutorials, I learn it, then I start working. So I can use those skills in this thing also.
Hmm. So let's suppose I'm a compositor. If I want to switch a job in the same visual effects industry, what is a better option for switching the job from a compositor, according to you?
Switching a job from compositor to another subfield.
Yeah, I mean, I heard people likes to switch from compositing to lighting, but I'm not sure. Like, is it possible or not?
So first thing is important, that how much experience do you have in suppose if you are in compositing, so how
Mm-hmm.
much experience do you have? That's the
Mm-hmm.
most important thing. The second thing comes is your demo reel.
Mm-hmm.
If you are after 4 years also, if you are applying to another place, example any other company or in your
Mm-hmm.
own company, for example a modeler, so it's
Mm-hmm.
important that you have to be at that level where your demo reel should be looking very professional also, and
Mm-hmm.
it should stand out also, that only at that time only you will be able to switch to another thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
important that you're working 8 hours on compositing, then also you should have to spend 8 hours on learning modeling too. You have to be best in the another field also, then only you'll be able to switch.
Mm-hmm.
You need a good experience, a good knowledge for switching job.
Got it. Yep. So finally, we have come to the final question. Like, any suggestions or ideas for myself and my channel?
It's I want you to upload more these types of videos, so that even when I was a fresher, when I was confused that what to do in future, I had no videos. I'm lucky that I'm getting your videos and your uploads, which were very helpful for me to learn also. So I would say keep on doing more, uploading more videos, so that people
Yep.
have so many questions, so they can send you, that you can ask to the people when they are doing your podcast.
Yeah, I'm
That would be a
I'm
big
really
thing.
happy to hear that, because after seeing my video, you came to the industry, or you now you're working as a compositor, and now finally
Yeah.
you are in my video doing
Uh,
this podcast. I'm
uh,
grateful to you.
Unbelievable. I'm thank you for having me.
Yeah, got it. So finally, any comments or any tips, anything you'd like to share?
Mm. You need to enjoy this field also. Don't keep on working. There has been a time when people are more involved in that work that they forgot to live their life also. You may have seen that many people don't work out. It's a sitting job, so people don't work out, and
Yeah.
another thing, you're working from home, so people are facing many problems, health issues also. So keep on working out also. Eat good
Mm-hmm.
food, stay healthy.
Got it. So thanks, Manav, for
Thank you.
spending time with us in this podcast, and I wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
Yeah.